Joining us now is Caroline Glick. Caroline, big day. What are the implications for Israel of this Trump victory?
Look, I think that they really do provide us, the victory provides Israel with an opportunity to win the war. Until now, Israel has pursued a path of moving forward strategically, but not actually achieving our strategic goals, because at every turn the Biden administration has blocked us from doing so, whether it's eliminating the Hamas regime in Gaza or eliminating the Hezbollah-controlled areas of Lebanon that border Israel in the south of Lebanon, or taking out Iran's nuclear installations. All of these things were considered out of bounds by the Biden administration, and they worked assiduously to block Israel from achieving these goals. And now that Trump has been elected, Israel should use the interim period before he even enters office to begin moving forward to dismantle Hamas's regime in Gaza, to pushing and dismantling Hezbollah's ability to operate south of Litani River in South Lebanon, and to, of course, take out Iran's nuclear installations, as Trump himself said Israel should do just a few weeks ago. So I think that those are the main things that Israel has to accomplish, and in the meantime, work with the Trump administration to block the Biden administration during its lame duck months in office from carrying out actions against Israel that could undermine those efforts at the UN.
So, Caroline, I see in ARUTZ yesterday, the most prominent anti-Israel newspaper functioning in Israel, that the headline in the English paper was, U.S. expected to increase pressure on Israel to end Gaza war after election. So you talk about the lame duck time, and it is a few months, and there are still some needs that Israel has, and this administration still has some power. What do you expect to see over this next couple of months?
I think that what we can expect to see is that the administration is going to move to pass a series of anti-Israel resolutions at the UN Security Council that would work to require Israel to end the war as quickly as possible without strategic victory, lest we be placed under UN sanctions under the Security Council, much like Iran was, until the Obama administration agreed to give Iran nuclear weapons.
So, when we look geopolitically beyond just the U.S.-Israel relationship, in terms of the U.S.'s relationship with the other bad actors in the region, we know that Trump put a lot of sanctions on Iran, but Trump was not so hard on the Qataris. We know that the Qataris are very close to the Biden administration, but they still are a problem. Do you have any hopes that Qatar will be marginalized as well in this Trump administration?
I mean, it really depends on Israel. Israel didn't push for that under either the Trump administration or the Biden administration for various reasons and institutional constraints. But I think that would be a very important thing for Israel to do moving forward. Again, I think that the most urgent action on the ground is for Israel to win this war. I think we should be moving very quickly towards achieving that goal during the interim period to the extent possible. What we did with the Trump transition team in 2016 was we were able to work with them to block the U.S. under the lame duck Obama administration from passing a very debilitating resolution at the UN Security Council that would have placed a timetable on Israel to accept a Palestinian state in Judea and Samaria, and say that if Israel didn't abide by the timetable, that it would be sanctioned by the UN Security Council. So Israel was able to work at that time with the incoming Trump administration. And I think that it's important for similar cooperation to take place now, and also with the U.S. Senate to block those kinds of actions from taking place, and because that's really the main bar right now to victory, is that the Biden administration would work through international organizations to constrain Israel's ability to fight to victory.
All right, Caroline, one more quick question before I let you go. You've been a very prominent, outspoken critic of the Biden administration and its approach to Israel. So I'm asking you point blank, what are you doing to celebrate today?
Well, we're going to be going out to dinner. So that's what we're going to be doing and raising a glass to toast. But we have to remember that it's not a time for euphoria. It's a time to recognize the nature of the opportunity that a Trump administration, the incoming Trump administration, presents for Israel. It's not going to be, just all roses and sunshine. Israel has to make very clear to itself, first and foremost, what it is that we want to do, what we want to achieve. And we have to use a partnership with the Trump administration to build a kind of strategic relationship with the United States that's going to be able to outlast the Trump years and move into the future to secure our interests in the long term. So I think that this is an extraordinary opportunity that we were granted by the grace of God. But we have to understand its nature. We have to understand what we need, and we have to have the people in place in the positions in Washington and in Jerusalem. I mean, the Israeli people in Washington who are going to be able to actually implement a policy that will secure Israel's alliance with the United States to the benefit of both countries for years to come, while also strengthening and rendering enduring Israel's position as a regional power, hopefully at peace with more of our Arab neighbors, with the kind of borders that we're going to be able to defend going forward.
Caroline Glick, thank you for joining us, and enjoy your dinner.
Thank you very much. You too.